Questions that need to be answered regarding these airstrikes, which were in retaliation against Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad's apparent use of chemical weapons to target his own people, which is undeniably horrific. But as many have noted, when Assad did the same thing 4 years ago, Trump's response was significantly different.
The attack also a startling about-face for President Trump, who has repeatedly argued against military intervention in Syria.
Why do we can't let ISIS and Syria fight and let Russia, they're in Syria already, let them fight ISIS?
Tweeting repeatedly after the last major chemical attack in Syria 4 years ago that the United States should stay out of the conflict.
Is there anything Trump is doing now where he didn't at one point tweet about doing the opposite? I honestly would not be surprised if in 2011 he tweeted, "Only a stupid idiot would live in a big white house and sign bills into law. #sad. Now, administration officials have said that it was the gruesome images of the chemical weapons attack that changed Trump's mind, which on one level is absolutely understandable. The images were truly horrifying, just as, again, they were 4 years ago. But while it is natural to want to take some kind of action in response, it has to come in the context of a larger strategy, or it's close to worthless. Because though the strikes seem to have made certain people feel better, what did they actually achieve?
Does this change the facts on the ground at all, Martha?
I don't think it really does. I mean, this wasn't a strategic strike and hurting Assad going forward. It's this one airfield. It is a punishing airstrike. They took out aircraft. They took out fuel supplies. They took out some of the surrounding infrastructure. But he has many other airfields.
It's true. In fact, he apparently still has the one we bombed, because Syrian warplanes were carrying out attacks from it just hours after our missile strike. And that is hardly a crippling blow. Delta passengers experience longer flight delays on a daily basis. Look, maybe a symbolic airstrike was strategically the best move for Trump, but I don't think he's thinking strategically, because there is no indication that he's taken the time to answer some fairly basic questions like, if this was a warning shot, what are we warning against? Do we only want to stop Assad using chemical weapons, or are we going to push for regime change? If he does it again, are we prepared to go to war to stop him? If so, are we prepared for how significantly this may deteriorate our relationship with Russia, and how will that affect our fight against ISIS? This is complicated, and I am not saying there are right answers here. I'm saying there needs to be a tangible strategy acknowledging how difficult taking on Assad actually is, because right now we have a president who feeds off praise, and he just got a lot of it for bombing someone, and that should make everyone very, very worried. Or, to put this in terms that Brian Williams can understand, there is a scene in the movie American Pie where the character Jim, played by Jason Biggs, has sex with a pie because he wants to feel like a big, strong, grown-up man. Well, the concern is that if we blindly let him continue down this path, Donald Trump could become that horny teenager, and the whole world could become that pie. So, for now, let's move on. Let's move on to